Well, this is a fascinating game because it's City against Leicester, a team who looks certain to be relegated in Leicester having come up last season. So on paper, a fairly straightforward victory. And before the game, and I'll explain a little bit more about why and what it's all about, but before the game there will be a protest by a section of the City support as well. But before we get into that, here's Paul Dickoff, former City player, played for Leicester as well, of course, talking about the specialness, if that's the right word, of this game for him, having played for both clubs. I was speaking to him at a dinner I hosted recently.
I did a fantastic time at Leicester. I think everybody knows Man City through and through. But I was at a time at City where I wasn't playing. Leicester gave me the opportunity to go down there and really kick-start my career, which is what happened. So got a massive soft spot, always look out for the results. Obviously was delighted when they got promoted back to the Premier League. Want them to stay up, but I want Man City to win tonight.
I'll never forget you coming as a Leicester player to the Etihad, and you gave more effort in that game because I suppose you were trying to prove to the Leicester fans that your loyalty to City didn't mean you wouldn't be professional.
There was a couple of things behind that. One, it's the only game I've been cheered on as an opposition player and booed off within the space of 90 minutes. And obviously, from my point of view, I left the club because the manager at the time wouldn't play me and didn't think I was good enough to play at that level. So I did have a bit of a point to prove. It was nothing against the City fans, you know. I still get people coming up to me giving me stick about sliding my knees that day as well. And it was more so to prove to the manager at the time that I was good enough. I was in the Premier League and I could score goals in the Premier League.
So as many of you will know, I also do an audio podcast once a week, which is easy to subscribe to. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud and via my social media accounts. And recently I had some of the City supporters groups talking about the feelings that they have about season ticket availability, prices, secondary selling sites, and recently City appointed a 9th secondary site called Viagogo, and today they're going to protest, or they're going to try to protest, we'll see how successful it is, asking fans for the first 9 minutes of the game to stay on the concourses, and even if you do go to your seat, to stay quiet, to show their dislike, if you like, of some of the actions that City are taking. We'll talk to some of the people involved in that a little bit later on and see how big that protest is. But that's the background to it, because I know some people have said to me when I did a video about Pep's press conference, what are they protesting about? So that is, in simple terms, what it's about. So let's find out what people are thinking who are at the game today.
We've come from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we're here to see a win.
Oh yeah, definitely. And to watch my brother get married. So that's the real reason we're here. But whenever we're here, we try and get to a City game because it's been over in the States 10 years and we don't get too much matches.
Not enough.
So are you aware of the fact that today there's a protest by City fans?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what it's about?
It's about ticket pricing. As we were just saying on the way over here, it's all getting a bit extortionate and the fans are basically being taken advantage of by the club, and about the ticket partners as well, right? And the resale
of course, one of the things, I'm not saying it's about this, you're very welcome to come and watch City, and it's nice to see you here.
But it's about the tourists,
But it's about people who've got more money, and obviously if you've come from the States, you've got a bit more money, so what sort of prices, for example, have you paid for a ticket today?
I can't actually remember how much I paid, if I'm honest. We're in South Stand, lower, so I don't even remember what it was. We did it for a Matchday membership, when it went on general sale, when it basically was clear that it wasn't going to be an exciting fixture and a lot of season holders, ticket holders were selling the tickets back. So I bought it directly off the site, not through a third party. But
so when I went to New York on a holiday, I went and watched New York Rangers play, and the price of a ticket, even up in the gods, was over $100.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm a tourist, I'm only going to ever go once. So I paid it, but of course people who come here regularly think, I'm not paying that sort of money. Do you have any sympathy for what the fans are doing today?
I have loads of sympathy, I mean, it's a bit sad. It isn't nice to the fans. It isn't good for the atmosphere if you have an empty stadium, and if the fans don't want to be there, then it's totally understandable. With today's protest, I was kind of curious about that. I know I am technically part of the problem, but the club's the problem. So I wasn't sure how effective it would be. I mean, in terms of a movement to see whether how involved people are going to get with it, how visible it will be. So I was kind of aware of it. We're right on the aisle though, so I was like, we're pretty much going to be going in there late anyway. So I was going to play it by ear as to whether we would be being polite and joining the protest that technically I have no right to join in. And so yeah.
On a more positive note,
Yes.
Are City going to win today?
Oh, of course, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Why else would we come? No, it's tough, man. It's really tough. This season has been really strange to watch, just because of how composed we've been in the past and how uncomposed we are now. And the new purchases have been great; they've fitted in really well, but there's still something not quite clicking. And then today we're without Pep and we're without Haaland, so it'll be a different look and a different vibe, I imagine, as well. So. I'm excited to watch it, but I expect us to win because of the opposition. But I am also interested to see what it looks like in person in its current format.
So he's the pessimist. I'm the optimist. I'm saying 2-1.
That's not optimistic. That's what everyone says. The optimist says 5-0. Come on.
Well, I reckon it could be 5-0.
I reckon they could get some. Marmoush is tidy and their defence sucks. So yeah, we'll see. I hope to see some goals.
Yes. Goals.
Goals.
Well, in terms of the match, I think we'll win tonight. Got Haaland injured, which is a blow, but I think Marmoush will step up and get a couple of goals. So I fancy us to win the game. In terms of the protest, I don't know, mixed feelings really. I think I get it, I get the point, but the ownership have been brilliant as well. They've ploughed the money in, had all the success and everything. We've seen things that we never thought would be possible. So I don't know. Like I said, mixed emotions, Ian. Really, I don't know really. I'm going to see how I feel when I get on a concourse and suss it from there, I think.
So this protest was called after last Thursday's announcement of the Viagogo partnership, which is everyone don't need to talk about Viagogo really. They're the possibly the most predatory ticket touting agency in the country on earth, to be honest. City had a deal with them about 10 odd years ago and we got rid of them. It's crazy that we've come back to them. The UK government have dragged them through the courts with the Competitions and Markets Authority before. I can't quite believe that City have done this. It now makes them our 9th official ticket partner. And only a couple of weeks ago, Kieran Maguire, the renowned football finance expert, said that it was unusual for a club to have 8 ticket partners like we do. So 9 is crazy. But this is not just about Viagogo. Absolutely, it's not just about Viagogo. Most people don't know who Viagogo are. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of fan groups like ourselves at the Food Bank, 1894, Trade Union Blues, and lots of other blues across the stadium, which I'm sure you'll see at the protest here at 7 o'clock outside the main gate, and then for the 9 minutes into kick-off. But it's about lack of season tickets. No real season tickets have been given out for 6 years through traditional sales processes. If you're a parent with a kid and you want to bring them to the game, you just can't do that anymore. There's a whole generation we are losing as City fans. Exorbitant matchday pricing. Season tickets are bad enough, but matchday pricing is the real kicker. Oh my God, I mean, at the very start of the season, we had to fight the club on just introducing disabled parking charges. Really little things, I say little things that really hurt some of the most vulnerable members of our society, most vulnerable members of our fan base. It's just unnecessary.
So do you think that there are going to be enough people who care, like you clearly do, to make this worthwhile, or is there going to be apathy from...
Potentially. Look, there's apathy across the whole country. Let's be honest, in the last general election, wasn't it something like 40% of the country voted or something like that? That's a societal issue that we have to deal with. And yeah, there may be some apathy in the fan base, but do you know what I mean? A lot of people are apathetic. They're not actually apathetic, they just don't know what's going on. It's not as if it's in the club's best interest to let everyone know what's happening. It's on us as the fans to let other fans know, and it's difficult. And none of us want to do this kind of stuff. This is outside of our day jobs, and it's all in our spare time, our leisure time supposedly. We want to go to City and support the team and enjoy it, but my worry is if we don't do little things like missing 9 minutes of this game, more fans next year will miss 90 minutes of a whole game because they can't afford to come into the stadium. And that's what we're doing. We're looking out for not only the next generation of City fans that physically can't get into the stadium right now, but we're also doing this for the fans that have already been priced out, which I know everyone listening to this will have friends who can no longer go to the ground anymore. I've got friends who can't go to the ground anymore. It's sad. And we're meant to be a community. City was always meant to be a community club from Junior Blues days. Like, that's what I love about City. We're losing sight of that, but I think it's in fans. I think it's under the fans' control what goes on. I think apathy, apathy is the enemy of action and progress. So, but I feel positive. Look, there will be a ton of people here, and there'll be a ton of people supporting on the concourse. So, I have full faith in City's fan base. Even if I don't, in some of the staff at City who are making some of these decisions.
I just feel very strongly about the way that the club are not issuing any more season tickets. And I've got a season ticket myself and I'm okay, but I want to join the protest tonight just to make it quite clear, along with all the thousands of lovely, loyal City fans who support the club, whether we win, lose, thick or thin. And I just think the club are disrespecting us, and I hope they will listen.
We want our City back. We want our City back.
Man, I wish we had Haaland. I feel bad for him. I hope he's doing okay, but we're still going to pull through. I saw Marmoush in the starting lineup, so I feel good.
What's today to you?
What is today to me? Today's a big day. It's my first time seeing a Manchester City game in Manchester.
So very excited.
Very excited. Extremely excited.
What are you thinking today?
I'm hoping for a 4-1 or 5-1 win. I wish Pep was going to be on the field, but I still got a good feeling.
Started well, one or two hit and miss passes here and there, but we at Bournemouth on Sunday, after a dodgy first half, we're a lot better. And I'm hoping the second half here today we'll be able to take it to them a bit better and keep them out, keep a clean sheet.
You noticed the absence of fans in the first 9 minutes?
I did, yeah. It was very noticeable, certainly in the south stand. And pity to miss the goal, but not seeing it on the telly, I don't know, but power to the lads.
4 goals in the second half?
Hopefully so, kiddo, hopefully so.
I thought it was great, good game, yeah, done what we needed to do, and on to the derby.
You think the protest worked?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Cheers, mate. Well, protest, not quite sure about. I got here late, but I don't know. That's what happens with the club. They want more money, and that's what happens, isn't it? So,
does that win make you more optimistic now for Sunday's derby?
I don't know. I'm never optimistic about the derby. That's me.
What can I say about tonight, Ian? Very subdued performance from the team, the supporters, particularly with the 9-minute demonstration before the game. But he said it all. I think we've got to take a whole thing as a global thing and say Leicester are going down. We've won 2-0. We've kept a clean sheet. It's lovely to see O'Reilly getting 90 minutes and also Oscar Bob coming back from a major injury. They're the future of City, and we've got to continue here. The old guys are going to go in the summer. 6 new players coming in, and we've got to strive for that Champions League spot and win the FA Cup. City till we die. Come on.
Good game. Missed the first goal. I was standing up here discussing ticketing policies and whatnot. Something that's obviously not popular with the club, but I thought we played all right. Missing Haaland, but it was all right. It was one of the best games in the world. The atmosphere wasn't great either, Ian. It was.
I know it's the derby on Sunday, so does that give you increased confidence, or?
Derbies are always a derby, aren't they? I've been a City fan since the 1990s, and
we obviously were where we were, so I'm never confident going into the derby. It could go either way. They beat us earlier this season when they were absolutely terrible as well, so fingers crossed is all I can say. Never do a prediction as a City fan.
The game was City was too dominant, and Leicester looks like it was a pass of time to come and play, but there was no any kind of effort to show that they are gonna do something about.
I think they had a shot on goal, did they, Leicester?
No, it was not really Leicester. I don't think it was really a very strong way for Leicester to do a change. That's why it's kind of a pass match to me. That's why.
Yeah, no jeopardy really in it.
No,
was
no, not at all.
But you enjoyed it, I hope.
Well, it was a fun of the day. Thank you.
I thought that it was a great match, but yet again, City was dominating too much. They didn't really give Leicester the chance to counter-attack, and it was a great match for City though. At the end, Leicester did try to put more pressure on City, but yet again, City was the more dominant team in this match. And
was there anybody that caught your eye in City's team? Did you think anybody played particularly well?
I think Omar Marmoush played well. In my
He's got good feet, hasn't he?
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I think I would describe that, sum it up as a bit of a mundane game, really. 2 first-half goals settling it, an expected victory against a team that's almost certainly going to get relegated. Nice to see Oscar Bob back after his long layoff, but other than that, not the most exciting of games, to be honest, but they did the job. So on to the Manchester derby. I'll be at Old Trafford, of course, on Sunday for that. If you go in and you see me, say hello. In the meantime, have a great week. And thanks for your support. Thanks for all the retweets and the kind comments and the people who see me at the ground saying such supportive things. So I really appreciate it. See you next time. And as always, isn't it great to be a Blue?